Hello, fabric haul. How do I stock up on fabric for our business? Or how to stock up on fabric for your business? There was a sale at Walmart for fabric, and we went there to stock up. So we saw home and living products, and I purchased a lot of fabrics from Walmart, some from Joanne and some online. But we use printed fabric for some of our products, and some of those fabric were on sale at Walmart. Therefore, we went to see what is available and we stock up. So my children are wearing clothing that I sew for them, my two daughters. My son is wearing the pants that I sew him as well. And that is the fabric that they have on sale, $2 a yard. Also, few were not on sale, but I don't know if that's a half a pallet or what, or a pallet. I'm not sure. What do you think? Is it half a pallet or a quarter a pallet? I don't know, but yeah, we went through it. We have 2 carts, and I was just looking at pretty much the color, the instruction to make sure it's 100% cotton, and giving it to the kids to put it in the cart. And we left few. There are few that we didn't buy, but pretty much it's the overview of what they have available that they have there. And after we loaded the cart, you can see the 2 carts full of the fabrics, and the one on the pallet is what we didn't get. So there are some black and white that I didn't want to buy. And my daughter is wearing, the top that I saw her, and it is a printed fabric, just like any one of those in the cart, 100% cotton, got on the bias with ruffle color. So pretty much we asked the lady that to measure the bolt, and we buy everything on the bolt for most of them. Few we left it behind because they didn't really have, it was not an inventory for them, or it was a color that I was not interested in. But very few that we left behind. But yeah, they pretty much measured the whole things that was on the bolt, and they gave us the measurement, and I wrote it down, like the number of yards. I wrote it down so that I can enter that in inventory. And my daughters wrote it on the sticker as well for us, for reference purposes. And it was helpful when we pulled the when we pulled the fabric off shelves. We look at those numbers first glance. Although once you start cutting into the fabric, those numbers won't be relevant unless you are adding how much you cut off of it. But yeah, we pretty much, it was a team. It took us well over 4 hours there, though. Like one of my kids will hand me the fabric, and I will write down the number of yard, the name of the fabric, the number of the name of the fabric, and later after the lady measure that fabric, I will add the number of yard to it. But that way, for our raw material inventory, I will just use my paper to update my inventory instead of going holding the fabric again one by one to do that entry. So it was a long process, but it was the easiest one for me to be able to update the inventory on our spreadsheet for our raw materials. So, and I try to be a little bit ahead of the lady that was measuring, and we will give the ball to the lady in a certain order. So when I write down the name of the fabric, we'll put it at the bottom of the stash that we are having on the table, and we'll give her one from the top. That way I know that that will be the next one that on my sheet that I will add the number to. And then we have another card that once we have is measured, recorded, I will add it to that card. "4 hours was an understatement though. We stayed there for anyway, but some of them has the GSM, and this is 115 GSM. The lower the GSM gram per meter, the lower the GSM, the lighter the fabric is. And usually those printed fabric are 140 to 150 GSM. They are kind of structured fabric, but I found some here that are 115, like that one is kind of soft, a little bit sheer as well. So the lighter the fabric, the sheerer is going to be as well. The lower the GSM, the fabric will be sheer, transparent in some way. But yeah, and on one side we have the one that we already did. That one we have not done it yet, but on this area we have the one that we already measured and recorded the number of yard on it. So on one side of the table we have the one that we need to go through. On the other side of the table we have the one that we have gone through. So it's not just about picking up fabric and purchase, but we had a system that we had to go through so that I can actually have all the name of those fabric and how many yards are on the bolt, so that at home I can just use that paper and go on my spreadsheet and add those fabrics to our raw material inventory, so that when I take some out of inventory I can record that reduction, and when I make product I can add it to the inventory as a finished product, and when it's sold I can take it out of inventory as a cost of goods sold. And that is pretty much how we purchase about 114 or so of fabrics, and we just purchased whatever was on that bolt. So the lady didn't have to cut, and we were served by 2 ladies. It was kind of hard on them as well, but because they didn't have to cut, at least they didn't have to use scissors quite a bit, but they were just measuring it and writing down what they found. And sometimes what they have in inventory will be different from what it is on hand. And yeah, but yeah, that is pretty much our fabric haul, to stock up on fabric for our business, for our product, and we are using it as well to sew garments that we are buying from the business. Thank you. And that is one way we stock up on fabric. They were on sale and we just stock up. It costs about, I don't know, $1,300 or so, or a little bit more than that. I'm not sure, but they were about $2 a yard, and that is just one way we stock up. And sometimes I will sell those fabric, but a lot of time is I make things out of them to resell. It could be napkin, towels, or so. And I'm thinking about high price items that I can introduce, that I can add to our product line. And sewing garment, I'm thinking about what kind of clothing accessory I will be able to add. That will be a little bit of on the high price. That will be high price items that I can add. But a lot of things that we sell are out of natural fibers, made out of, when it comes to fabric, the fabric is natural fibers. Sometimes we use elastic inside, depending on what the product is. But I will use a zipper. The zipper is not a metal, but when it comes to fabric, we use 100% cotton at the moment. We could use linen later too. We use printed fabric. We use twill, cotton twill. But yeah, those are the two main ones that we use. And the printed fabric will be called quilting cotton. Some call quilted cotton. We use those. I can just call it quilting cotton. And we use twill as well. Twills are a little bit heavier, but I like to go more with the GSM. So those will be more about 150 GSM. The twill will be more like 230 GSM. And we have another one that is about 185 GSM. A little bit thicker, but not as thick as twill. We use those as well. But yeah, the higher the GSM, the thicker or shorter the fabric is. And quilting cotton is lighter than twill, cotton twill. So we use the twill for bags, and we use the for tote bag. We use the quilting cotton for zipper pouch, and for cloth napkins. We use flannel as well, and for towels. Thank you. And to be able to purchase this, I know that we might purchase a lot. Before we left home, I tried to see where we will store those, and I clean up a wall of our office so that I can put a shelf unit there. And I took a shelf unit from the house to put in that area. So there is one wall of the office that we store finished product and some fabric and some patterns, and I move it to the right side, and so that I can put a shelf unit there. And I use a Gladiator heavy duty shelf unit that I used to use for canning jar, and I put it there. But yeah, those fabrics are on a heavy duty Gladiator shelf units, and that one came from the house as well. That's one way to keep your business expenses low. If you can downsize some stuff in your house to reuse in your business, you don't have to buy those things for your business. And we were able to put that shelf unit there before we left for the store. Clean it up. That way I can just stuff it with the fabrics after I'm back from the store. And having a heavy duty shelf unit is important, because if you have young kids you want to have some safety in place, but keep telling them not to claim any shelves. So yeah, thank you. And I have not really reorganized those things that I moved to the side of to the right side of the office or to the other side of the office. I have not reorganized them yet, but that's something I had to do as well. Thank you. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for all your comments. We thank you very much all that subscribe to our channel. I'm Afiabe Liberman, cross of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, ninaso.com our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways you can save money and different ways you can make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for yourself. Thank you.